single file in practice. None of these trucks venture to the outside. Now they're 3 wide already.
3 wide coming out of turn 2, down the backstretch, jockeying for position. And again, this is only half a lap into this race.
Rick Crawford in 3rd, Terry Cook back to 4th.
Johnny Benson again looking for that elusive truck win. He's been second a few times. Second, as a matter of fact, at this racetrack. So he definitely would love to get his first win here in Texas. Actually, love to get his first win as soon as possible.
Good side-by-side battle right there. David Rudiman, who's having such a fantastic season here, and Eric Almirola, one of the 2 rookies we talked about that really looks good this year.
That side-by-side for 7th. David Rudiman, the preferred line on the inside. But Phil, they're going to start moving up the track. This is a racetrack where they can run side-by-side through the corners.
What sure is you see a side-by-side battle. That's Bobby Hamilton Jr., the Fastenal Dodge on the inside. And there's David Reagan. We're used to seeing Mark Martin in that number 6 Scott's Ford. But David Reagan's getting his shot to drive that truck here while Mark Martin's busy elsewhere.
You had mentioned earlier when we were talking about the young drivers in this race, this might be a good one for a rookie. Why is it such a good racetrack for a rookie?
I think when you have a racetrack, Rick, that's almost wide open, you don't have to get off the throttle and worry as much about handling as you do at some of the other racetracks. That is conducive to a rookie doing well. As we mentioned earlier, back in '97, rookies 1, 2, 3 here.
Mike Skinner, we would expect Mike Skinner to be very strong at the beginning of this race. As you mentioned, crew chiefs, we're talking about Mike Skinner's the class of the field. Again, here comes David Rudiman. This is side-by-side for 6. Ron Hornaday on the outside in the 33. Rudiman on the inside in the 17 takes the position away.
Good move by David Rudiman. He was able to get by Ron Hornaday by beating him off at turn number 2. He beat him. He stayed even with him down the backstretch, got the preferred line on the bottom of the racetrack in turn 3, and was able to pull ahead.
It's good to see that 85 of Dennis Setzer. Looks like he's running strong right now. Setzer currently being shown in the 9th position. We ride along with Dennis as he tries to take a position away from Eric Almirola as they go down the backstretch.
Let's see if he can beat Eric down into turn number 3. He does on the bottom of the racetrack. Eric tries to hang tough on the outside. Dennis, a 2-time winner here at Texas. He knows how to get around this racetrack.
Looking back on Eric Almirola there in that Spears Manufacturing number 75 Chevrolet. Here comes Eric Almirola. He looks like he's going to charge up, see if he can challenge Dennis Setzer for that position.
Yeah, Dennis was a little bit high through the center of the corner there, and Eric almost thought for a second about trying to drive to the inside. Thought better of it.
Little nose to tail. Here comes Kyle Krisiloff on the inside.
Yeah,
that's Timothy Peters we're riding along with, looking at Kyle Krisiloff.
Yeah, his Dodge is on the outside. Kyle Krisiloff driving the Ditech.com Chevrolet for Billy Ballou.
Now again, this is new territory for these drivers here at Texas because the sun is no longer on this racetrack. They have only been on the racetrack when the sun has really been beating down on the surface.
That's right. We probably have a track temperature now of about 105 maybe because our ambient temperature is still about 95 degrees, but we don't have the sun baking down on the racetrack. So that's why these drivers and crew chiefs were scratching their heads in practice because they were wondering what this track is going to do at night.
Guy backing up. Craig Kinzer, he started 3rd. He's dropped all the way back to 15th, Phil.
Yeah, he got a little bit loose here. Let's see if we can take a look, Rick, at what happened to Craig Kinzer. Had such a great qualifying effort, qualified 3rd in the Centrex Chevrolet. He is a teammate to Dennis Setzer, so they share notes. Let's see if we can take a look back at what happened. Here he is on the outside of Bobby East. See, he runs through the bumps, and that causes his truck to wiggle a little bit. The shock package may be not exactly what he needs right now. As he ran through the bumps, it made his truck wiggle a little bit. Now he's just going to settle in here, try to find a comfortable place to drive, and let Randy Goss, who's one of the best crew chiefs in this business, work on that truck and make it better.
Craig Kinzer can work his way up toward the front. He's got a very strong truck. Again, he qualified 3rd. Look at the distance Mike Skinner has put between himself and Johnny Benson.
Rick Crawford going to hang right with Johnny Benson. Rick's another one of those drivers that seems to excel here at Texas. He was one of those one of the rookie drivers back in 1997. He finished 3rd in that race.
Rick Crawford started this race in 5th. He's holding on to 3rd right now and challenging for 2nd. We'll see if he can take the spot away from Johnny.
Join us, but he got busy today. He qualified Kenny's Furniture Row Nextel Cup car into the field at Pocono for Kenny. Now Kenny will join him on Sunday. He'll be at Nashville tomorrow to run the Busch race. So teamwork, even from the race day guys.
That's right.
Along with our Wendy Benderini, our friend Wendy Benderini, that also joins that crew.
That's right. Side-by-side racing here. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that Fastenal Dodge number 18, we ride along with him as we look inside of him to the 15 of Kyle Krisolov making the pass.
You know, Bobby, that puts him back about the 31st, 32nd position. They really thought they had a great race truck here. They felt like their qualifying was off because they feel like the Dodgers are a little off aerodynamically and as far as in the qualifying mode. But he is falling back right now. There's a 0-7 right there. Back for the start of the race, the 20.
Yeah, something wrong with that number 18 Dodge right now because he is backing up. And in the first practice, he was very strong. He was the strongest Dodge in our first practice. We really thought that Dodge was going to make a change here at this racetrack and come on and be strong, maybe get a top 5 finish.
Yeah, Brendan Gaughan right now is running in the 13th position. He's our top running Dodge. Do you realize that Dodge has not had a top 5 finish this year? None of the Dodges have been in the top 5 this year.
And the amazing thing, last year Ted Musgrave won the series in a Dodge.
That's right. There's a 16, the IWX Chevrolet of Mike Bliss. He takes over the 10th spot from Eric Almirola. You know, that truck's been looking for sponsorship all year long. Steve Coulter jumped in and helped these guys. That he used to own this team. Dave Fuge bought the team from Steve Coulter, and he came in along and helped them get through there. But they need a sponsor desperately because Steve Coulter is just probably, this is going to be the last month that he's going to help this team. So they need a sponsor to continue. And what a great run he's had this year. Been in the top 10 almost every race. Ray?
Hey, Phil, just to let you know, Mike Bliss started 15th today, but he is really, really loose coming off of the corners. He said the truck feels pretty good on entry, not bad in the middle, but very, very loose coming off. So they've got some work to do on that Chevrolet to try to make it drivable for Bliss. Krista?
Yeah, guys, want to update you on Ted Musgrave. Ted's best finish here was back in 04 when he finished second. He started 23rd. They've had a bad weekend. You know, this is a team, even though they're second in the points, that really needs a good race. They've had 2 bad races the last 2 weeks, Dover and Mansfield. He started 23rd. He is moving his way up, but when they do come in for stops, he's asking for a little bit of the track bar. The track bar dropped a little bit to tighten his truck up.
I tell you what, it's really amazing to hear Ted Musgrave struggling after he had such a strong start to this season.
Boy, he sure has. And you know, he was dominating this race here a few years ago and had a flat tire inside of 10 laps to go. So he knows how to run well with this racetrack. You can see David Reagan right there, the 6 truck, the Scotch truck. That's the usual Mark Martin truck that we see Mike Beam, crew chief out of Roush Stables, and Matt Craft on the 88 Menard Chevrolet also getting by Ted Musgrave.
Can we call this a wake-up call for David Reagan? In Mansfield, he was taken out of the seat of that number 6, and they put Augie Vidovich in there to drive it. Now they're allowing David Reagan back in there. He drove at Dover, and now look at him go here at Texas. What
a great run. You see that momentum that David Ruderman got off of turn number 2. That's what allowed him to make this pass on Terry Cook. That's a battle for the 5th position right there. If you can get your truck turned in the center of the corner and beat somebody off the corner to get the momentum, that's what's going to make you pass these people.
Take a look at this, Phil. 22 laps into this race, and our first caution has come out. It's Eric Darnell. Look at the damage to that. Looks like he got a little bit of damage to the right rear. Oh, and look at the left side of that truck as well.
Yeah, it looks like that truck spun around and made contact with the outside wall, driver's side. What happened here? You see Eric, he's on the bottom of the racetrack, on the bottom of another truck. You see him wiggle, he got loose on the bottom of the racetrack there. Ooh, Dennis Sedger just narrowly avoided him, but we see that happen so many times when a truck's on the inside of another truck. As you can see, he's already made contact here. As he slides down the racetrack, there's going to be some evasive measures by a lot of these trucks to get by him, but when you see a truck on the inside of another truck, the rear of the truck.
Kerry Earnhardt stayed out and actually led a few laps here at Texas. He did not pit.
He did not pit. He was the only truck to stay on the racetrack. Now he's drifting back a little bit, but Johnny Benson has pulled into the 2nd spot, and here comes Todd Bodine up to 3rd.
Todd Bodine moving his way up. Didn't have to move too far as he started up toward the front, but again, we saw some pit strategy. We see Rick Crawford currently running in the 4th position. Now, he was 9th when they came in for pits, for the pit stops, and so he did looks like a little bit of pit strategy there, probably just right side tires.
Right sides are gas only. We saw Todd Bodine drive by Johnny Benson for the 2nd spot. Todd is aiming for Mike Skinner, trying to get that lead.
Rick Crawford all over the back bumper of Johnny Benson. He's going to make the pass and take 3rd away.
David Ruderman, the 17 truck, looks at Johnny Benson. Johnny looked really strong early in this race before that pit stop. Remember, this pit stop allowed all these teams to adjust on these trucks. All the drivers giving the information back to the crew chiefs, telling them what the trucks needed. And all the drivers and crew chiefs getting together trying to determine what changes to make. But remember, right now, these tires had a chance to cool a little bit, so the track is very fast right now.
The top 5 has 2 Toyotas up front. Rick Crawford running 3rd in a Ford, and 2 Toyotas in 4th and 5th. Mike Skinner out in front of Todd Bodine, but Todd Bodine closing the gap. Last time by, it was about 0.4 of a second. We'll see if he is able to gain any position on Mike Skinner this time by.
Todd had the fastest lap the last time around by about 0.02 of a second over Mike Skinner. This time he's a little bit slower, about 0.5 of a second slower than the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Both extremely fast averages around the racetrack. 178 miles an hour, Phil.
You know, the 183-mile-an-hour lap that Mike Skinner qualified with for his pole was the fastest qualifying lap we've seen this year, and that includes Daytona, Atlanta, California, and Charlotte. A lot of fast racetracks.
A lot of fast racetracks. Mike Bliss on the inside of Kerry Earnhardt. This is 4th position. Again, Kerry Earnhardt led actually for the first time in 2006 when he stayed out, did not make a pit stop. And he's battling with Mike Bliss right now.
Yeah, that's a battle for the 7th position. This is a little further back in the field. That's the 22 on the inside, Bill Lester. Timothy Peters, the Ford Dodge, goes around on the outside. Looks like Bill Lester's having some sort of a problem.
Chad McCumbee in the 08 this evening. He tucks in behind the 4 of Timothy Peters.
The 07 got by also. That's Butch Miller. There's Aaron Crocker, the Cheerios Dodge, number 98.
Through the quad oval. Butch Miller chasing down the 4 of Timothy Peters.
Caught a glimpse of Ryan Moore, the 40 truck, leading that little battle right there. Ryan was a former Busch North Series competitor. Actually, I think will also run Busch, that they call it Busch East now this year.
Right.
Son of Kelly Moore, longtime Busch North Series regular, former champion in that series.
Ryan Moore had a great run going at Mansfield. I think DEI sees something in this kid. He's a DEI development driver, and so they've got him running some truck races now.
Just something to get some laps. Ryan Moore needs some laps. He runs the Busch East Series, as we mentioned, runs a few of the West Series races also, but he needs to get some laps. There's Chad McCumbee. We saw him earlier this year in the 06 truck. This is his first start in Bobby Dotter, Gene Christensen's 08 truck.
Promoting the movie Death Toll on that 08 truck as he makes the pass on Timothy Peters. Some more side-by-side racing.
That's the 50 of Michelle Jourdain on the inside. That's the 3rd Roush truck. Kelly Sutton, the 02 Courtyard by Marriott Chevrolet. And here comes Terry Cook. Remember, we saw that little bit of damage Terry Cook received on pit road. He's going to have to, he had to come back in and make some repairs to that truck. That's why he is so far back right now.
Sounds like we might have our second caution. Yes, the caution lights have come out. Our second caution of the night. Possibly debris on the racetrack. We don't see any trucks spun around. So we believe the NASCAR officials will take their trucks back out onto the track, check out to see if there are any problems out there, and we'll get back.
But I'll tell you, Brendan's given that truck a pretty good run. He was in the top 15 even before our first caution.
Dennis James Schultz in the green. We're back to racing in Fort Worth. Mike Skinner out in front. Todd Bodine right on his back bumper. Looks like he's going to challenge early on. But as they go through 1 and 2, Todd Bodine falls way back, and Mike Skinner gets a great jump out of 2.
Lost a little momentum right in the center of the corner. Looked like he may have lost the front end or something there. Rick Crawford glances to the inside. Todd comes right back down to the bottom of the racetrack to the white line, cuts Rick off. Rick wiggles a little bit. That may allow Johnny Bitson to get up beside of him.
Rick Crawford looked like he got maybe a little too close to Todd Bodine there. Lost the front end, as you had mentioned, and then had to catch the truck as it was racing up turn 4.
We'll see it cost Rick about 5 or 6 truck lengths right there. Now there's side-by-side battle all over the racetrack.
Aaron Crocker looks like she's a little bit off the pace as Kelly Sutton will make her way by. Joey Miller and that a little bit disabled number 12 Toyota makes his way by.
There's a battle. There's the 04 of Scott Lagsy going by them. You see our leader on the left side, Mike Skinner. That's Todd Bodine right in his tire tracks.
Bodine closing in on Skinner. Skinner the dominant truck so far, but now Todd Bodine looks like he's got something for him.
Todd ran a little bit quicker that lap, about 1/10 of a second quicker. doesn't seem to be able to do anything with Mike Skinner. Looks like his truck is just as good as Mike Skinner's, not quite able to mount a challenge yet.
And as we're listening to the onboard, it didn't sound like Todd Bodine lifted at all through that corner.
Yeah, there may
If
be
he
times
did, it was just a little bit.
when your tires are cold, you may be able to run some of these corners wide open. Beast Drive, you see him pedal just a little bit. He probably doesn't come clear off the throttle, but he comes off just enough to let the front end set to keep that truck down next to the white line. There's Bobby East on pit road. He was having a good run. Ray, what's going on with Bobby?
Well, no, I didn't want to add to Bobby there, Phil. You were talking about the 5 and the 30 there, and those guys staying wide open. Skinner actually told me the other day that you can run the first 7 or 8 laps here on new tires completely wide open, and you don't even have to lift at all. He said that's how long it takes before these tires get heated up, and then you need to start backing off a little bit. Krista?
Yeah, I know the guys were wanting to update on Bobby East. We were actually down here in Aaron Crocker's pit. They're pitting right next to each other because she thought she was going to have to come in with a tire going down. She has not come in. She's waiting to see if the truck gets a little better. She had a little bit of a vibration. She wasn't sure if it was the tire. But in the meantime, yes, Bobby East just came down on lap 39. They put 4 fresh tires on it, made a slight adjustment. They thought they had some tire problems, so they had to come in to make an adjustment and go ahead and take those 4 fresh tires.
When you've got a vibration on a track like Texas, you do not want to have a problem because you're going so fast going into turns 1 and 3.
Well, you sure are. Again, speeds close to 185 miles an hour as you enter these corners here. That's about as fast as these trucks will run at the end of a straightaway anywhere. 185 here at Texas. And that's the thing about this racetrack is they don't slow down much in the center of the corner. And with a good practice lap, about 30 seconds flat, we're running about 30-30 right now. They only slow down about 10 miles an hour to the slowest of what end speed in the center of the corner.
You see Dennis Setzer, his sights on that IWX Chevrolet of Mike Bliss. Looks like Bliss might be a little bit loose making his way through the turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, a lot of big-time wiggles right there. He's going to try to make his way by the lap truck of Bobby East. We saw him make an unscheduled pit stop a few moments ago. He clears Bobby East as he enters turn number 3. Now Dennis Setzer, the Shell Rotella T Chevrolet, going to do the same thing. Ray?
Hey, Phil, let me add on Mike Bliss. He is definitely loose and was much looser before that last pit stop. They went down on the track bar and put right side tires on his truck. But you know what? I'm a little bit surprised that more of these guys didn't put tires on when we pitted at lap 23. When we got that extra set of rights the other day, I'm not sure everybody's going to get a chance to use 2 full sets and another set of rights. I think it was a good move for these guys to try it early. Bliss, one of the guys who put right side tires on.
Ray, you're exactly right. I talked to Dave Fuchs before the race, and he said that's what he thought he would do because he wanted to save his other 2 sets of tires for a pit stop when he made a long run. When he runs 50 or 60 laps, he wanted to be able to put 4 tires on then and have fresher tires at the end of the race instead of trying to put 2 tires on towards the end and maybe affecting the balance of his truck.
2 Chevy Silverados battling for position. Mike Bliss wins this battle as Ted Musgrave now tries to make the pass as well.
There's Ted right there. He's on the inside. You see Mike Bliss right in front of him. Ted makes the pass on Dennis Setzer. Remember, we saw Ted Musgrave really struggling early on, running about the 20th position. Well, right now he's battling for a top 10 position. So Ted Musgrave and Tom Ackerman made the right adjustments, it appears so far, to that Toyota.
Everyone's chasing this Toyota. Mike Skinner and the number 5 Toyota Tundra dominating. Behind him, it's Todd Bodine, Crawford, Benson.
See a battle right there. There's David Starr, the 11 truck on the outside. There's the 13. Right in front of the screen, you saw the 75 make a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Now when he drives down in turn number 3, he probably did some damage to his right front tire. The truck went straight.
Top Dodge, Brendan Gaughan following Kerry Earnhardt, who stayed out with Terry Cook. And so those 2 lead the field for a little while. Problems with Kelly Sutton, though, as she comes to a stop in the infield.
You can see Kelly moving around inside of her truck, trying to get that truck refired. If she does not get it refired, that will bring the caution out, and the caution is out.
Sure enough, caution comes out, and so our 4th caution of the night coming out. Lap 54. Kelly Sutton not getting
a little shot there that more than likely was from Craig Kinzer's number 46 Centrex Chevrolet because of the fact that he's having to repair damage to the front of his truck. This is Bobby Jr.'s Fastenal Dodge right there. There's the 46 of Craig Kinzer. You can see the damage to the front end of his truck. So just a chain reaction deal on that restart.
Back up to speed. I'm Rick Allen alongside Phil Parsons, Chris Devoto, and Ray Dunlap down in the pits. Terry Cook leading for the first time in 2006. Chris Devoto.
Hey guys, yeah, Terry Cook leading, but he is out of pit sequence. Remember, he had that damage on pit road with Jack Sprague. They had come in for right sides only at that time. So when they had to re-pit to fix the fender damage on the front, they also took left. So they pitted on lap 35, meaning they didn't pit when the leaders pitted back on lap 51. That's how he got his lap back and was able to take the lead for the first time in a long time, as you said. First time in Texas since 2001. First time ever since Kentucky, that is, of last year when he had that strong run. Terry Cook, a very strong truck. They know they've been dealt a tough hand, though, with the pit sequence.
And as Krista was talking about Terry Cook, Mike Skinner took second away from Todd Bodine, and so Skinner on his way back toward the front.
A pretty good pit strategy by Terry Cook. You know, he, as Krista mentioned, he had that damage, so he had horrible track position. So he was able to stay out on that caution flag, get his track position back, lead some laps. So he's got a great truck. He's running some very, very fast times. He's got Mike Skinner, who's been so dominant early on, right behind him. So it's going to be interesting to see how he stacks up with Mike Skinner. We've got Todd Bodine in third right there behind Mike Skinner. Ray, what's going on with some pit strategy?
Well, Phil, there's a couple of different strategies going down here. Of course, a number of guys put rights on at lap 23 and then went with 4 tires this last time. A few of the teams have actually done just the opposite of that. Their truck wasn't very good at the beginning of the race, so they tried 4 and then went with rights this time. But there are a couple of people down here, believe it or not, that still have a full set and rights. There's 2 or 3 teams here who did nothing on the first pit stop but put fuel in.
Remember, Todd Bodine only put fuel in on this most recent caution flag. So we saw Mike Skinner put tires on. Todd Bodine only put fuel in. So we know he may be saving a set of tires, Ray, just like you're talking about.
Almirola makes his way behind the wall. The battle for third position being won by Rick Crawford. He took the position away from Todd Bodine, so Crawford moving toward the front. Now we've got 2 Fords in the top 3. But again, Mike Skinner so strong tonight in that number 5 Toyota.
Yeah, he was the fastest truck on the racetrack this most recent lap, about 0.2 of a second faster than our leader, Terry Cook.
Now the top Dodge, Brendan Gaughan still holding on to 11th. Our top Chevrolet, Ron Hornaday, just lost a spot to Johnny Benson. He drops back to 7th. But up front now, Mike Skinner has caught up to Terry Cook. Got some side-by-side racing. David Rudiman going by Todd Bodine. Problems have to be with that number 30 of Todd Bodine. He is moving backwards, Phil.
I think, Rick, it's just a matter of not putting tires on. He's got a lot older tires on than the rest of these drivers do. He's going to have to hang in there. As you see Ron Hornaday, the 33 truck, go by. He's going to have to hang in here on these old tires. He would love to see a caution flag.
Again, Terry Cook leading for the first time in 2006. But for how long will it be, as Mike Skinner has the dominant truck today?
Yeah, you can see the difference right there. That's our battle for the lead position right there. Mike Skinner was about a full mile an hour faster than Terry Cook. Remember, this is the same truck that Terry Cook finished second with at Charlotte last month. So a great truck. It was a brand new truck when he ran at Charlotte, finished in second, and he's got a good run going tonight.
Yeah, Phil, a new crew chief for Terry Cook. Can we give some credit to Dennis Conner? I would think that man knows a lot about truck racing.
Absolutely. We saw a graphic earlier in the show about how much success Jack Sprague has had in this truck series. He won 3 championships. You know who his crew chief was? Dennis Conner. 3-time championship crew chief Dennis Conner, who's now calling his shots on this 10 Power Stroke Ford of Terry Cook.
And Dennis Conner helped out Matt Crafton a year ago. Matt Crafton was very strong last year with Dennis Conner calling the shots from that crew chief position. Now Terry Cook benefiting from Dennis Conner's wealth of knowledge.
We saw how quickly Mike Skinner was able to catch Terry Cook. Once he got there, he wasn't able just to drive right by. He's probably going to make the pass right now. He does work his way underneath Terry Cook, but it looked like he may have got a little bit of aero push when he got up close to Terry Cook, but he is able to make the pass right now. We'll see if he's able to drive away from Terry.
Well, and when we talk about a dominant truck at Texas, Mike Skinner has been dominant not only this race, but in numerous races. In 5 races, he has led over 300 laps here. So an extremely dominant driver. The problem is he hasn't been able to put a win in the win column.
He's never been able to put it together and get that win. He's got 4 starts there. He was second last year. He has 4 poles. He's done just about everything he can do here except win.
Exactly. So is tonight the night for Mike Skinner? Well, we've got a few more laps to go, about 96 to be exact.
There's Joey Miller, the 12 truck. He was crippled from that earlier incident he had. Terry Cook, the 10 Power Stroke Diesel Ford, makes his way by. There comes Rick Crawford, the Circle Bar Ford, number 14. What a great run for Rick Crawford. He's really had a terrific season if you could discount the last 10 laps of the race. 2 weeks in a row, he's well into the top 10, and he had flat tires at Martinsville, and I think maybe Gateway, inside of 10 laps to go, and took 2 good, strong finishes out of his record.
Skinner looking for a strong finish here. Ray, how's he doing?
Really, really well, Rick. He's very happy with his truck. It was, not performing exactly to his liking, but he's happy with it now, especially after these adjustments they've made. I talked to Mike Skinner the last couple of days about his season so far, and when we look at his numbers, it's really not very good. He accredits that to about 60% bad luck and about 40% of the time where they've just had trouble. Well, tonight he's got a little helper with him. Riding along in that Toyota Tundra tonight in the number 5 is, well, their friend, the Lucky Gnome. The Lucky Gnome actually is here to give them a little moral support. And they've got him riding along. He's been with the team all week, and they said maybe, just maybe, this will be the thing that'll break our bad luck streak and get us back to victory lane.
Now, I remember about the beginning of the year, Mike Skinner said, I don't want any luck. I don't want good luck. I don't want bad luck. I don't want any luck.
Well, he's changed his tune.
Yeah, apparently he wants the Lucky Gnome now.
That's probably the fastest any gnome has gone here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Here comes Crawford.
Trying to take over the second spot from Terry Cook. Not quite able to do it that time. This is where you got to make your move, right there in the center. You got to get the momentum. As you see Rick Crawford, he beat Terry through the center of the corner. That allows him to drive right up beside Terry and beat him down to the next corner.
Rick Crawford taking away second from Terry Cook, and look who's going to follow him. Johnny Benson in the 23 will also take third away from Terry Cook.
David Ruderman trying to follow also.
So out front, Mike Skinner now has a new competitor chase. Mike Skinner.
Let's take a look back at how Mike Skinner lost this lead to Rick Crawford. See Johnny Benson now in the second position. Here we are right here. You see Rick Crawford drives to the inside there. Mike Skinner looked to be slow for a little bit. He's actually lost back to the 4th position. Rick Crawford makes the pass in a Circle Bar Ford, takes over the lead. Johnny Benson right after him takes over the second spot.
Ray Dunlap.
Just want to let you know, Mike Skinner came on the radio saying he feels like he's got a tire going down. Now, from the infield, they have the very first pit stall, so Jeff Hensley, as crew chief, can see the left side tires really well. When Skinner went by, he said, absolutely, the left sides are fine. Hey, spotter, what's it look like up from top? Well, guess what? Texas Motor Speedway is such a big place from up top, there's no way you can see a close-up of the right side tire, so they don't know. If there's a tire going down, it's got to be on the right side.
Tell you, with these radial tires like this, tire just about has to be flat for you to even see it. The sidewalls are so stiff on these tires, so I'm sure Mike Skinner's feeling something he doesn't like. He could have a slow leak or a soft tire, but it's going to be very, very difficult to tell if that tire's flat. If it goes flat, then we're going to know it, and it's not going to be pretty.
Well, and Mike Skinner has had experience with a tire going down and feeling it and then actually hitting the wall because he stayed out too long. Is this a situation where he really needs to just duck in if he's got a problem?
Well, I think if he knows, he's got enough experience and he knows that if he's got a tire going down or not. Right now, he's not too sure because it looks like the tire's up. He's still able to run a fairly competitive speed, not quite as fast as he was before. But if that tire gets too bad and it blows out, then he's going to hit the wall hard. Ray, what about it?
Well, Phil, here's the other problem. We're at lap, 85 now? We need to get to lap 100 just for him to get into the window to use this next set of tires. You only go about 65 laps on fuel here, so they want to get to lap 100 before they'd ever think about pitting for this last set.
Yeah, probably even closer to 110, Ray. I don't think they want to pit. He wants to stay out there as long as he can because he does not want to pit right now. He would lose at least 1 lap, maybe even 2 laps. So he definitely wants to stay out. And as you mentioned, he doesn't want to put his last set of tires on with 80-some laps to go.
And the other thing is, Mike Skinner's currently in 5th position. So, I mean, he's not out of this race by any stretch of the imagination. If he can hold on and make it to that pits window, he'll be in good shape.
There's one guy that's having a great time right now, Rick Crawford. What a great job he's done. He's got a little over a second lead right now on Johnny Benson. He's in some heavy traffic right there. That looked like, I think that might have been the 4 of Timothy Peters that he made his way by. Looks like that might be Robert Richardson, the 1 truck right in front of Timothy Peters. He's going to make his way by him.
We gave a lot of credit to Dennis Conner earlier. I think we've also got to give credit to Kevin Cowboy Starling, who's the crew chief for Rick Crawford. I mean, those two guys are really working together very well as far as the chemistry in that team. Rick Crawford has been a very successful team, or his team has been very successful this year, with the exception of a couple tire problems.
Yeah, he's had such bad luck this year. We talk about luck. We talk about Mike Skinner not wanting any luck. Well, Rick Crawford has got some luck this year, and it's been all bad. Maybe he can put it together this time and get away with all the demons and stuff and have a good run. Here's Ty Bodine continuing to lose positions, Krista.
Guys, things very tense here in the 30 pit because he knows he's sliding back. Yes, he's on those old tires. He's actually been trying to run in the high groove to get a little bit more grip. Before break, Todd Bodine was running in 11th. He has now slid back to 16th. He said, man, and he was not happy with that pit strategy, knowing that he was sliding back. Mike Hillman Sr. got on the radio and said, we know. You see Mike Hillman Sr. there? We're going to get you those fresh tires when we come in. This is one team praying for a caution.
That's the crapshoot right there. When you have decisions to make. You've got to make 2 pit stops to put 4 tires on. Mike Hillman Sr. decided, let's try to roll the dice here a little bit. We'll save our tires till later. We'll have fresher tires than anybody else will later. Well, it may bite them right now because Ty Bodine has lost. He's about 23 seconds behind right now, and they're lapping this racetrack at about 31 seconds. So if he doesn't catch a caution flag fairly soon, then he may find himself go a lap down to Rick Crawford.
Could this be 2 races now this season where pit strategy has come back to bite the number 30 team? Because remember, back at Mansfield, they thought they could go to the halfway point, get new tires, and come back and win. Well, that strategy did not work for them. We'll see if this one works out any better.
The problem is he'd used some pit strategies, stayed up, but he's maintained a good, strong position. He's running 6th right now, but he's just a few laps away from having to make a pit stop. He last pitted on lap number 35, and we're on lap number 93 right now, so he will have to pit probably within 3 or 4 laps at the very latest.
A gamble by the 13 team. Another team running real well, the number 6 of David Reagan. We've really got to give a shout to that team because, boy, when Mansfield rolled around and he had his troubles, we thought, boy, that is just a bad situation for that team. But he has really turned it around and made this Scotts Ford run very well at the Texas Motor Speedway.
He's showing the promise right now that Jack Rouse saw in him when he had his competition over the winter. He really liked what he saw with David Reagan. He said, I'm going to put you in the truck and share it with Mark Martin. What an honor it is for David Reagan to be associated with this Roush team and to be teammates with Mark Martin. He's doing a terrific job right now. He's taken over the 7th position, and there's another guy having a great run. How about, there's Ron Hornaday right there, the 33 truck. That's 8th, and here's Chad McCumbee. He jumped in Bobby Dowder, Gene Christensen's 08 truck. That just happened this week, and he's got that truck running in the top 10 right now, running with some terrific trucks. He just made his way by Terry Cook a couple laps ago.
We talk about the young up-and-coming drivers in NASCAR, and here's a 21-year-old in Chad McCumbee that's really shown a lot of moxie. Krista.
Yeah, you talked about this deal literally coming together this week. Chad McCumbee said he talked to the team on Wednesday morning. He got a flight on Wednesday afternoon, got here Wednesday night. Last week when we talked to him in Dover, he said he didn't think his team, the 06 team that is, would be able to be here in Texas because they had run out of money. That did happen. They're trying to still make 8 to 10 more races this year, but they needed to take this long stretch off a little bit to regroup. So he was lucky enough to get in this 08 truck, and look at how he's running in the top 10. He comes from a team that only has 4 full-time employees. You talk about a kid that is doing the best he can with what he's got. They finished 11th and 15th this year. This 08 now running in the top 10. Incredible run for Chad McCumbee.
There's Terry Cook coming down pit road. Krista, while you were talking, the 30th Ty Bodine went down a lap to our leader, Rick Crawford. Ty Bodine, as strong as he's been this year, been lapped. Here comes Terry Cook in. He's going to get right side tires. I'm sure this will be a 4-tire change. Brendan Gaughan, the 77 Orleans Dodge, also on pit road. You see his guys, Terry Cook's guys, move around to the left side. Going to put left side tires on. Little pit strategy didn't really work. waiting on another caution flag to make their pit stop. It didn't happen. Terry Cook's going to make a green flag pit stop. What he needs right now is this race to go green for long enough for it to cycle around, and all the other trucks that pitted after him will have to make a green flag pit stop also.
Terry Cook with pit strategy and problems with the 75 of Eric Almirola, and they are doing the damage control that took place after this problem, hitting the wall going into turn 3. Eric Almirola came in numerous times down pit road and tried to get that truck straightened out. They just couldn't do it without having to go behind the wall.
They bent the front suspension enough that he had to do it, Ray.
Yeah, they did, Phil, and these guys continue to work on.
Restarts this one second. Now we've got a few of the trucks that are on the tail end of the lead lap in front of our leader.
And Terry Cook right there is going to restart this race at the very front. We know he has a good fast truck, but we saw him make that green flag pit stop prior to the caution coming out. A little pit strategy that didn't quite work this time for Terry. He needs the caution to come out very, very quick, stay in front of Rick Crawford and get that lap back.
Looking for clean air. Last time he had clean air, he was running extremely fast, about 31 seconds around this racetrack.
Dennis Setzer right there, his Shell Rotella T Chevrolet on the outside, making his way by some lap trucks. There's the Team Australia, number 20 of Marcus Ambrose. You see Dennis right there, currently in the 10th spot.
Dennis chasing the truck up the racetrack a little bit there.
Here comes Todd Bodine, our lucky dog recipient. He had to restart this race from the tail end of the longest line. You see him back in the 14th spot. We only have 15 trucks right now on the lead lap on lap number 105.
The last one back there is Chad McCumbee. In the 08, we talked about what a great run he's having.
And remember, he's one of the trucks that topped off on lap number 103. That's 2 laps after all the rest of these lead lap trucks pitted.
Side-by-side racing. Problems with the 33 of Ron Hornaday. You see the sparks coming out. He's got problems with that front end. You see the balance tucking underneath the front end of that truck.
That's right. He may have just got a little bit too low on the racetrack, may have touched the apron, and it looked like it bent the little splitter. That's the thing right there at the very bottom of the grill opening. He may have bent that thing on the racetrack.
Now, how long will NASCAR let him go? Because a part is going to fall off of that truck at some point in time.
Rick, let's take a look and see what happened here. I saw some dirt come up here a little bit ago. There he is. Dirt. He went through the dirt right there. When he came back on the racetrack, it was a little bit lower. The transition bent that front balance right there. This is Dennis Setzer. Watch what Dennis sees right here. He's going to see the dirt fly as Ron Hornaday goes through the dirt.
That's something you don't want to see, I would think, as you're going 185 miles an hour into turn 1.
Tough break for Ron Hornaday. NASCAR's going to continue to watch this. They do not want that thing to turn under and blow off that left front tire and cause a problem for Ron or somebody else on this racetrack.
I just saw Dennis James grab for the black flag, and so I'm guessing right now that they're going to show Ron Hornaday the black flag, put his number up on the board, and say, Ron, you're going to have to come in and get that fixed. You can't stay out on the track any longer.
It hasn't seemed to affect the performance of that truck. Let's see. There he is right there. He does put the black flag out on Ron Hornaday. Ron was trying to pass David Reagan for the 6th position right there, but Ron's going to have to bring that truck to pit road. It's going to cost him probably a lap as they make repairs to that truck. Tough break for Ron Hornaday. He has turned his season completely around.
Certainly has. Kevin and Delinda Harvick, I'm guessing, would be very pleased with the performance that they have shown over the past few races. Winning at Mansfield was a great performance for that team.
There's Todd Bodine right there. He has to chase his truck up the hill. Kyle Krysloff, the 50 truck, gives him room. That's the 50 Michelle Jourdain Jr. on the inside. Mike Bliss, the 16 truck, another one of the trucks that topped off his fuel tank on lap number 103. He tries to make his way by the Kyle Krysloff truck. That's Ted Musgrave right there behind Mike Bliss. He's yet another one of those trucks that came down pit road, topped the fuel off.
We haven't talked a lot about Ted Musgrave, currently running in the 14th position, but second in the points. I mean, he was so strong to start off this season, and now it seems like the Germain Racing team may be faltering a little bit.
Well, he had the same pit strategy you talked about earlier that Todd Bodine had at Mansfield. It didn't work for them. He took a truck that was capable of running in the top 5 by poor pit strategy. He finished about 16th. Ray, what's going on pit road?
Well, Phil, we're here with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation Chevy, and you see that damage really did curl the front end of that truck under. But see, this is all fiberglass here. They'll go ahead and cut that away, use this Sawzall a little bit. They get it loose, and Hornaday will go back to the track. We'll see if they did enough
stop. Just cutting away a part so that it doesn't throw the sparks up on the racetrack.
Got a battle for the lead. Look at Mike Skinner go to the inside of Rick Crawford.
Side by side, down the backstretch. Skinner will take the top spot away from Rick Crawford.
We saw Mike Skinner so strong early in this race, and then Rick Crawford, prior to the most recent pit stop of these drivers, looked to be the truck to beat. Now Mike Skinner's made some adjustments. Jeff Hensley worked on the truck. They got it better, and there he is taking the lead from Rick Crawford, and here comes Jack Sprague.
Jack Sprague in that Conway Freight Toyota right behind Rick Crawford now. And he's silently been moving up. He had a great pit stop, and so now Jack Sprague coming into the mix here in Texas.
We heard Jack talk earlier at the very top of this show how good he thought that team was. Tony first got a lot of experience, got a lot of Nextel Cup experience. They've had such a great job. They haven't won yet, but they've been oh so close. Krista, what's going on with Jack?
Well, guys, Jack came to this track saying he felt like they could defend their win. Remember, he is the defending race winner, winning here last June in 05. Also won the June race in 2001. And unbelievable that in his last 6 Texas races, they have finished no worse than 6. We're talking first, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. They never finished second. They're running third now. That's not good enough for them. They want the win. Remember, also, they started 19th. They have really had to work their way through traffic. So they bottomed out in qualifying. Tony Furr, the crew chief, wasn't happy with where they ran, but definitely doing their job out there tonight. Patience. That's the #1 key, they said.
Patience and Jack Sprague. Wait a second. Those two don't go together.
Just back of the back, you see Mike Bliss, a 16 truck. Something's wrong with the 98 of Erin Crawford. Looks like
98.
I don't know if she has a flat tire. That may be some engine smoke there. She could have made some contact with the wall. That is definitely tire smoke from the right front tire. Caution flag is out.
So our 6th caution of the night coming out.
Now,
Who does this benefit,
Are
Phil?
these drivers going to want to come in top?
This race the most so far. Rick Crawford right behind him. Jack Sprague in 3rd. It's going to be a great battle down to the start-finish line.
The top 9 trucks stayed on the racetrack. From 10th place, Matt Crafton on back, all stopped and topped off their fuel tank.
2 wide racing through 1 and 2 on the restart. The first 3 have separated themselves. Again, it's Skinner, Rick Crawford, and then Jack Sprague.
See the lap trucks on the inside. That's the one. Robert Richardson, Bill Lester, the 22 behind him. Robert Richardson drifts up the racetrack in front of Johnny Benson, slows him down.
And you know, Phil, it's amazing. We've got 3 wide racing here. One of the trucks that jumped up and is currently running in 4th. Really, we haven't talked about that much. David Rudiman running 4th right now, and he has been so strong all season.
Only 1 finish out of the top 10 this entire season.
Whoa! David Reagan trying to catch that truck.
Very loose. It allows the 85 of Dennis Setzer to get by.
You're talking about David Rudiman and such a great season so far.
Yeah, only 1 finish out of the top 10. Got a great run going. He's in the 4th position right now. He's hoping he's got enough fuel to get to the end. There's Michelle Jourdain right there, the number 50 Roush truck. Here comes Ted Musgrave. Looks to the outside. That's a battle for the 11th position right there.
Side-by-side racing. Again, the restart just taking place. 44 laps away from the checkered flag. A few trucks gambling. Could be very close on fuel mileage as we get close to the 167 mark.
Oh, they're going to be very close on fuel mileage. They're hoping we don't see a green white checker, because that may be the difference between some of these trucks making it to the end and not.
Todd Bodine trying to make the pass. The Lumber Liquidators, number 30 Toyota.
Todd's in the 14th position right there. Jed McCumbee, the 08, doing such a terrific job. 3 wide right there. Those are all lap trucks. There's the 16 of Mike Bliss, the IWX Chevrolet. He's on the lead lap. He topped off on this most recent caution flag. He's going to move David Starr.
Look at Mike
up the hill.
Mike Bliss making the pass, goes to the high side.
That allows the 88 of Matt Crafton to pull up beside him. That's a battle for position right there. Matt Crafton right now trying to get the 8th position away from Mike Bliss. Here's Ted Musgrave right behind him. David Starr, the 11 truck on the outside. Side by side right in front of them. That's Matt Crafton, the 88, and Mike Bliss, the 16.
8th and 9th for Bliss and Crafton. Just in front of Ted Musgrave. Musgrave has now gone in front of David Starr. Starr drops back to 11th.
Good run through the center of the corner by Matt Crafton. It allows him to clear the 16 truck of Mike Bliss. He's going to bring Ted Musgrave, the Team ASA Toyota, with him.
They continue side by side. Bliss running on the outside of Ted Musgrave.
We saw Ted Musgrave back off a little bit. He didn't drive in that corner completely side by side with Mike Bliss because he's a veteran. He knows that's a situation. If he gets in that spot, he could get really, really loose on the bottom of the racetrack. He let Mike Bliss drive in the outside. Then he tried to pull up beside him in the middle of the corner, and it's going to get him a spot.
Todd Bodine right behind the 11 of David Starr. Bodine being shown in 13th position.
The 08 of Chad McCumbee. What a terrific job he's doing. He's side by side with a 30 Lumber Liquidators Toyota of Todd Bodine. Todd makes it by the lap truck of Bill Lester. That forced Chad McCumbee to back off and follow him as he gets by the 22 of Bill Lester. There's a view of Todd right there. Todd's being shown in the 12th position right now. He just got by Chad McCumbee for that 12th position. There's Todd. He gets by the lap truck. That's actually not a lap truck. I thought David Starr was a lap truck. He is being shown in the lead lap, but that is a battle for position. Todd takes over the 11th spot from David Starr, puts David back to 12th.
Discouraging for David Starr. David Starr from the Texas area has always wanted to win a truck race here, and for some reason has not been able to have the equipment and the position to battle for that top spot.
He finished third 4 times here, so he knows how to run well.
Yep. Out in front, it's Mike Skinner. Can Skinner hold on till the end of this one and win it?
Mileage and rechecking the fuel mileage because, again, these drivers have to run 66 laps. I know we got a little better fuel mileage during the caution. We had a brief caution there, but I don't know. Most of the teams told me it was about 60 laps was the top, so I'm sure they got a good fuel mileage check during the race, and that's going to be more indicative of what their fuel mileage is going to be, but I know there's some worried crew chiefs down there.
Well, isn't this the time where Hensley's saying, hey, Mike, maybe take it a little easy here. If we're going to be close on fuel, you've got a 12 truck lead right now. Back off a little bit. I mean, can you do that to a driver?
Absolutely. I'm sure Jeff Hensley's telling Mike Skinner, try to save me as much fuel as you can. We need 2 laps. We need to save enough fuel to run 2 or 3 extra laps. So I'm sure Mike Skinner's probably easing off a little bit earlier as he enters the corner. He's getting in the throttle a little bit softer instead of jamming it down. He's just pedaling back into it. He's trying to do all he can do behind the steering wheel and maintain the lead over Rick Crawford.
Right. Let's do a speed top 10 drop back. Let's start with Ray Dunlap.
Well, let's go to the top of the field, and that would be Mike Skinner. He certainly wants to celebrate in victory lane tonight, but he can't stay here very long because he and his wife Angie are going to jump on their motorcycle and do a 5-day trip on their way to our next race at Michigan, along with his owner Bill Davis, and I believe Steve Park will be on that trip also. Krista?
Rick Crawford running very comparable laps to Mike Skinner, the leader right now. Remember those 4 words that Rick Crawford kept echoing on the radio on the last stop? Gotta get it full. They are trying to make it the distance. So is the number 60 of Jack Sprague, currently running 3rd. Jack Sprague just get on the radio saying 30 laps to go. They know it's going to be tight. Meanwhile, David Rudiman said his truck is still a bit free. They are planning on staying out as well and going the distance. Ray?
As we look back through the field a little bit here, you see Jack Sprague running along there in the number 60 in his Conway Trucking. And then right behind him, I believe, is David Rudiman in the number 17. So Rudiman has moved up a couple of positions here from where he started the day in 9th. So how good run for Rudiman. Right behind him is the number 23, I believe, of Johnny Benson. JB has finished 4 times in his career, but they lost a couple of lug nuts on that last pit stop. He came in running 2nd and dropped back a little bit, but Benson running steady. They're in 5th place. Now the number 85 is Dennis Setzer, and of course Setzer has an average finish of 9th right here at this racetrack in Texas. So anytime we come here, you figure he's going to have a top 10. David Reagan running in the number 6 truck there in the Scott's Ford. Now he is driving chassis number 39, and this is the exact same truck that Mark Martin used to run at Charlotte. Krista?
All right, from a young guy to one of the veterans, Todd Bodine. We talked about how he had been sliding back, needing those fresh tires. He got those on his last stop, so now Todd Bodine is just hoping he has enough time to pick off all the trucks in front of him. We know he's good at Texas. And Ray, a quick update on Bliss.
Yeah, Mike Bliss has just gotten a position from Ted Musgrave. Bliss has been loose all night long. They've continued to work on that truck, and remember, he did have a little bit of damage there whenever he was coming off pit road, so he's had to make a couple of unscheduled stops here, but his truck loose right from the beginning, and they have not gotten it perfect. Boda?
I know, Ray. That's why I kind of paused there. I looked up and Bliss had passed Ted Musgrave. Ted Musgrave, Todd Bodine's teammate. When he came in, he did not put on fresh tires, just gas and a couple of quick, small adjustments. Ted Musgrave also looking to turn things around after he had a rough couple of outings. Ted Musgrave currently running 10th.
Well, thank you, Ray and Krista, for that speed top 10 drop back. It almost looks hazy looking out of that camera that's on top of the Team ASC Toyota Tundra of Ted Musgrave. Out front of the field, it's Mike Skinner looking for the first win in Texas. Through the field. Town 400 in Fort Worth, Texas at the Texas Motor Speedway. We're inside 20 laps of racing to go. Mike Skinner currently has an 8, almost 9-second lead on Todd Bodine. But Todd Bodine has been picking off drivers one after the other and has moved his way into the top 5.
He sure has, and we know Todd Bodine can make it the rest of the way because he topped off on our most recent caution flag. Mike Skinner did not. We've got several trucks right now that are trying to stretch their fuel mileage and try to make it 66 laps. There's Todd Bodine right there. He's been consistently the fastest truck on the racetrack unless he hits some heavy traffic. And then Mike Skinner will be the fastest truck on the racetrack. But Mike also has to go through lap traffic. That time he was about a half a second slower than Todd Bodine. If Todd can gain a half a second a lap, this lap he gained 7/10 of a second. If he can keep doing that, he will catch Mike Skinner.
Again, 18 laps to go. Todd Bodine 7.6 seconds behind Mike Skinner. But as you mentioned, 7/10 of a second on that last lap is what he made up on Mike Skinner.
Again, that's due to traffic. But Mike Skinner also has to be cognizant of the fact that he is short on fuel. He needs to try to save some fuel, but he doesn't want to save so much fuel that he'll end up losing the lead to Todd Bodine. But hey, let's don't forget about Rick Crawford. He's our second place truck right now.
Sparks coming out from underneath the 14 Ford of Rick Crawford. Now, normally when we've run this long in green flag conditions, the air pressure in the tires up high enough, we don't normally see him riding that long on the bottom of the truck.
There's Rick Crawford's showing more sparks than he has this entire race, but it's not hurting his lap times any. He's still running some very, very competitive laps. He was about 0.04 of a second within what Mike Skinner ran that last lap. Again, Todd Bodine, the fastest truck on the racetrack. He was 0.3 of a second faster than Mike Skinner that time, but he's still 7 seconds behind with 16 laps to go. Todd Bodine needs a caution flag.
Got to have a caution come out, and Mike Skinner would love to see a caution. Well, then again, he might not want to see a caution. He's got that fuel situation that he's got to deal with.
There's Mike Bliss right there. He moves by the lap truck of Ron Hornaday. We saw Ron Hornaday have to make an unscheduled pit stop because of the lower balance rubbing the racetrack. NASCAR black flagged him. He is not being shown on the lead lap. He has 1 lap down right now. Mike Bliss is in 10th position. A good top 10 run going for the IWX Chevrolet.
And talking about Ron Hornaday, a lap down in front of Ron Hornaday is Ryan Moore. A great run for that team, the number 40 team. And Barry Dodson crew chiefing that team. He talked about how Mansfield was a pretty good run for him. Well, they're having another good run here. I see why DEI has some interest in this young guy.
That's right. He just did go a lap down to our leader, Mike Skinner, but he's got a great top 15 run going. There's a battle right there. They've been battling since the most recent caution flag, the 16 of Mike Bliss and the 9 of Ted Musgrave. They've been battling for that 9th position for about 40 laps now, it seems like.
You see smoke that they just went through there. It doesn't look like there's any problems on the racetrack.
That's the 07 right there. That's Butch Miller. He must have had some sort of a problem. He's probably shut the engine off in that truck, trying to coast around to the back to the pit road.
There's that 40. We were talking about Ryan Moore, rookie stripe on there, but boy, really driving like a veteran tonight.
Sure has given Curtis Keys Chevrolet a good ride. Again, very, very high in Ryan Moore. We did some Busch North races on speed a few years ago, and always a great competitor. He won 2 races last year. He had 3 poles in the Busch North Series. Had a terrific season. He really came into his own last year.
Again, he's a DEI developmental driver. They've got him in a few truck races. 12 laps of racing to go. Mike Skinner out in front of Rick Crawford by 3 seconds now. Can Mike Skinner win in Texas? He's been so close before, but we're almost getting into the inside of 10 laps, and that's normally when Mike Skinner has problems.
There's David Reagan. You can see his serial right there. Started back in the 20th position. all the way up to the 6th spot. What a great job by David Reagan. He needed to put that Mansfield deal behind him.
Yep.
He needed to get a good solid run. I talked to Mike Beam right before the race. He said, we just want to run all the laps, get him some experience, get his confidence built back up. What a way to build his confidence up with a good, strong top 10 run here at Texas.
No question about it. A very solid run for him. His best coming into this, 22nd this year at Atlanta. This will definitely improve that this season's race, and he's got a 19th for a career best from a year ago.
There's another position for Todd Bodine. He made his way around the 17 Toyota of David Rudiman. He's now up into the 4th position as you see him lap by the 40 of Ryan Moore. That's the 3rd place truck right there in front of him, the 60 of Jack Sprague.
10 laps of racing to go. Todd Bodine trying to reel in Mike Skinner. I don't believe it's going to happen unless a caution comes out, Phil.
He's going to have a caution, or Mike Skinner may run out of gas. I'm not convinced these teams have enough fuel to get to the end. We had several trucks stay out, trying to stretch this thing 66 laps. It's going to be interesting to see if they can all make it, or we may have some trucks run out of fuel. Here goes the battle for 3rd.
Todd Bodine makes the pass on the 60 of Jack Sprague. What are they talking about, Krista? What's Todd Bodine and that team feeling right now?
Basically, he's just watching the laps wind down, hoping he has enough time to pick off these trucks one by one. Before he made that pass on Jack Sprague, he was running about 2/10 quicker than both Sprague and Rick Crawford, but much slower, a couple of tenths slower, that is, than Mike Skinner. Ray?
Hey, Krista, I walked over some of the crew members of Mike Skinner's truck, and they said, what is the deal with Bodine? How is he coming along? I said, he didn't put on tires earlier. They had tires to put on here on this last pit stop at 1:16. Everybody said, really? Are you kidding me? They still had tires? Krista?
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that, Ray, because the crew of Rick Crawford and Jack Sprague talking to me about the same thing, wondering, hey, who's good on gas? I said, Todd Bodine came in later than you guys. He is good to go. They're all wondering the same thing, watching down pit road and wondering what's happening out on the track.
And here comes Todd Bodine, reeling in Rick Crawford. That's for 2nd. And look at the closing rate he's got on him. He's going to be able to get by Rick Crawford.
Yeah, there's no substitute for 4 fresher tires right now, and that's what Todd has. He's going to make this pass easily on the 14 truck of Rick Crawford. Todd's now 2nd.
Todd's in 2nd. 7 laps of racing to go. Skinner out in front of him by 4 seconds.
Todd is not going to have
problem. Here's that caution that Todd Bodine was looking for.
It's the 6th right there. We're going to have wow, what kind of drama are we going to have here? Todd Bodine will pull up right to the back bumper of Mike Skinner with 4 fresher tires.
Well, now, can he make it on fuel?
To beat Todd Bodine. You see right there a battle. That was Jack Sprague trying to go by Kyle Crystal off the 15 truck. He got loose down in the bottom. Looks like he kept that truck out of the wall, but unfortunately for him, he's going to lose some positions, and unfortunately for Mike Skinner, he's going to lose a 4-second lead he had on Todd Bodine.
Unbelievable. I'm guessing there's quite a bit of disappointment in that team.
There's another view right there. You saw him on the inside. He just lost the back end. We see that happen so many times. There's Timothy Peters. You see the smoke right up in front of him. He gets the message to slow down. You see the caution lights right up against on the racetrack against the wall. One of the innovations here at Texas Motor Speedway. A good job by Eddie Gossage and his crew.
Riding along with Bobby Hamilton Jr.
We talked about the dejection, Rick, in the pits of Mike Skinner. Let's see if we can look and see what the look was on their face when that caution came out. That's Angie Skinner right there.
That's exactly what everyone was thinking in that crew. He's looking for an opportunity. The pace truck makes its way down pit road. Here they come. Mike Skinner, Todd Bodine, Rick Crawford, David Rudiman, and David Reagan. Your top 5 going across the start-finish line.
Where's Todd going to try to make his move? He told us that Mike Skinner was going to hold the bottom. He didn't know if he was going to be able to drive around on the outside. Skinner opens up a 3-truck length lead.
Great restart for Mike Skinner down the backstretch. 3 truck lengths between himself and Todd Bodine. Now Todd Bodine closing the gap as they go through 3 and 4. Oh, a little bit loose. David Reagan tries to catch the truck. Here comes Dennis Setzer making the pass. He'll get by him. Side by side for the lead. Bodine on the outside. Skinner on the inside.
He said he didn't know if he could do it on the outside, and he drove by him.
There he goes. Todd Bodine out in front of Mike Skinner. This is the final lap. They've taken the white flag. Down the backstretch they go. It's Todd Bodine in front of Mike Skinner.
What a great power move by Todd Bodine on the outside. Remember, he was a lap down in this race.
Here comes Mike Skinner. Don't count him out as they come out of 4. Skinner on the inside. Kansas.
What a great effort by Tom O'Dine, and a good effort by Mike Skinner, too.
Man, what a great finish in the Craftsman Truck Series. So close for Mike Skinner. You can't count.